Yeah, very good morning, children. Welcome to English class.
Sir, continue, Jayali.
Yeah, very good morning, children. Welcome to English class. Today we are going to learn about Unit 6. The title of the Unit 6 is Biodiversity. And you have understood reading A, that is environment, and reading B, or will the dreamer wake? You have read these two. The first one is the lesson about Wangari Maathai, how she understood the biodiversity, the life of all the animals, plants, or human beings are as equal as human beings. The life of animals and plants are as equal as human beings. And in the reading B, that is poem, or will the dreamer wake, the poet simply told us the worst effects of pollution of the entire universe, especially the water pollution or some kind of pollutions. The poet tries to tell us the worst effects of pollution. And in this class, we are going to talk something about reading C, that is a tale of three villages. A tale of three villages. And what are those three villages that we are going to read about in this class? The names of the villages. The first village name is Coco Village. It is in Nigerian country. Name of the village is Coco Village. And the second village is Ponni Manturi Village. Ponni Manturi Village. That is in India, our country. And the third village name is Vorabayo Village. Vorabayo Village. It's in Ukraine country. Formerly it's Russia, USSR. And we are going to read about these three villages. And you may get a doubt why only these villages? What happened in those three villages? How it happened? What exactly happened to those villages or villagers or to the environment, the place, and what is the result of that kind of action? That is what we are going to talk about in brief and try to understand the importance of life, the importance of environment, the importance of water, and the place that we live in. And the first village that we are going to talk is Coco Village, Nigeria. The name of the village is Coco Village, Nigeria. And let us try to read about this and understand what exactly happened in that particular village. Actually, the story starts like this. Mr. Sunday Nana, his wife, and four small children live in Coco Village, Nigeria. So, Nigeria is a country, okay? The village is like any other African village, picturesque, colorful, and noisy. The Nana family's house, too, is the same as all other houses in the village, with mud walls and a rusting corrugated iron roof, and with children and chickens sharing the compound.
Good morning, sir.
So, this is a small village. The entire village is picturesque, covered with all greenery, lots of trees, and lot of greenery is there and colorful with all flowers and everything. And always there is a noise. It means people used to be live, not dim. They are very active, and they used to live their life in the village. And what happened, we can understand from the first paragraph. The village is a small village, and their house is not well built, not so good. And we can understand that's a poor family. And of course, the village is having entire greenery, means there is no pollution in the village. They are living a happy life in Coco Village. And who are they? Mr. Nana's house. Mr. Nana, okay, Sunday Nana. So what happened? There is a difference. There is one difference, however, outside Mr. Nana's friend are three large empty metal drums. red paint now flaking away, but the skull and crossbone symbols clearly visible on each, and in a clearing 200 meters away from the village, next to a stream that the villagers get their drinking water from, is an enormous pyramid of identical drums reaching to the sky. Some of them are badly corroded. Their slimy contents of various colors, gray, dark green, bright orange, etc., leaking out down onto the backed African earth and into the stream. Some have fallen down and rolled or been rolling by playful children into the bush. Some are smoking into the midday heat. Some are swelling as if their contents are bursting to get out. Some have already burst. So in the first paragraph, we have seen the village is very greenery without any pollution. And Mr. Nana's family is very happy with their house. And what happened in the next paragraph? In the second paragraph, there are three large metal drums outside their house. And you can see, the drums are with crossed bone symbols. So you can see here crossed bone symbol. This symbol is meant for dangerous, very dangerous, which means we should not touch it. We should not smell it. So this symbol is very dangerous. So such kind of drums, three drums are there near their house. Not only three drums, 200 meters away from their house, there is a big pile of these drums, like a mountain size. All drums are dumped after 200 meters of their house. And what is there in the drums? Nobody knows. And they don't know what exactly the drums are, why they came there, who brought them there. The villagers are not aware of the drums. They are living their life, but drums are doing their own work. What are the drums doing? Drums have some kind of liquids like dark green, bright, gray color, orange color liquids. They are leaking because every day it's iron drums. Slowly it started flaking away, means rusting, and slowly the drums started leaking the contents, whatever contents it had, it started leaking. Slowly some colors from the drums came out and started flowing and started mixing in the stream. Stream is nothing but a river. So it started mixing in the river water. And normally now we have so many facilities for drinking water, but there they don't have any facility for drinking water. They drink water from the river. So these contents in the drums started leaking and started mixing in the river water. That is one thing. And the second thing, when in the midday sun, when there is a heat, these drums have started bursting. Some kind of sudden burst. They are smoking out. All kind of some kind of chemical reaction is happening, and the villagers do not know what is exactly happening. They only see the drums as a mountain size, like big mountain size kind of thing, and the leaking of some kind of chemicals from the drums, and they are mixing in the water, river water, and that water these people used to drink. And this is the kind of thing that is happening in Coco Village of Nigeria. Then what happened? Let us try to understand. And these drums started leaking. You can see the drums here with some kind of dangerous symbol, and they started leaking. In the next paragraph, they came on a Wednesday, said Sunday. Who are they? We don't know who came, but they came on Wednesday. On the day they came, many big lorries. They took all day unloading them. No one told us what was in them. They gave the chief a brown paper bag. One saw him smiling as the lorries drove away. This was 5 years ago. 3 months. Then 3 months ago, one of the brightest boys in the village, Thomas Agonio, started university in Lagos. He came home one weekend with a new chemistry book. and spent all day looking at the drums and writing down things and talking to himself and shaking his head. We all thought he had gone mad. Then he called a meeting of the village and told us that the drums contained poisonous chemicals. He said that they had come from Italy. They had come from Italy, but I don't know where that is. Is it in Europe? See, we can understand Mr. Sunday's, Father Sunday's, Sunday Nana's anguish. He doesn't know where that particular Europe is. But these drums came from Italy, from this country, and they don't know what is there in the drums. They only know the chief of the chief means the village head. So he knows everything what is there in the drum, but he never told the villagers. All the people who brought these drums, no, they gave a bag. The chief village head took the bag, smiling, and you can imagine what is there in the bag. Most probably some kind of papers or some money may be there. So he took, smiling, and after no, this entire thing happened 5 years ago. So many big lorries came and they unloaded. They unloaded all the drums there and they gave something to the village chief and they left. This happened 5 years ago. And after 5 years, and in this village, nobody was educated, but one boy named Thomas Agnoyo, he came from university, he was educated, and he brought a chemistry book and he started exploring. He started reading what is there in the drums. And finally, he came up with some kind of findings that drums contained poisonous chemicals, very dangerous chemicals. And he also explored that these drums came from country Italy. And you know, Italy is the richest country, developed country. And why that country people sent those chemical dangerous drums to this country? And we can easily understand like this is what is happening nowadays. Also, e-wastage is the greatest problem in the entire world. Most of the developed countries are dumping their e-wastage on developing countries. And there is a movie also in Telugu from Surya acted. They dump all the e-wastage in our country. And in that movie, he tries to explore and stop that. Such kind of movies are also made. So these developed nations try to dump their shit on undeveloped nations. So this is you can understand Africa is an undeveloped continent and Nigeria is underdeveloped country. So Italy people they dumped entire their chemical poisons packed neatly and dumped in this village. And villagers are unaware, uneducated, except this boy, Thomas Agno. He explored everything, the bad that was done to their village. Then what happened? Mr. Sunday started frowning a troubled look on his face. So when this boy, Thomas Agnew, told that these drums had some kind of chemicals, so Sunday Nana was shocked. In last 5 years, certain people have died in this village. Many, my own elder brother, one of them. They had been in pain, terrible pain. We have never seen deaths like that before. Lots of our children are sick. We have asked the government to take the drums away, but they do nothing. We have written to Italy, but they do nothing. The chief says we should move our houses to another place. The chief here is village head. He says we should move our houses to another place. But we have no money to buy land. We have no choice. We have to stay here. And they here means pointing to the mountain of death in clearing are our neighbors. They are our neighbors. The death is their neighbor. What is they? They means all the drums. They are sharing their life with the death. So their life is a life and death question. All the villagers' life is in the life and death question. And what the village head is saying, we should move our houses to other place. Now, this is the intelligence of that the chief. We can understand now how intelligent that chief is. So, children, we have understood in the first village, Coco Village. From Italy, they dumped some kind of chemical drums in the village. Villagers are not aware what is there in the drums. Finally, one boy named Thomas Agnew, he found and enlightened the villagers, and then they started questioning. They wrote a letter to Italy also. They questioned the government, but what government is helpless. The village chief is also helpless because they might have already signed the bonds. So finally, they decided that they have to vacate that place. They have to move that place from that place to other place. And moving from one native place to other place is not that easy, I can say. So this is what happened. It is only because of the chemical reaction of chemicals. So many people died. Most of the people died, like 13 people, and they never saw such kind of deaths in their village. That is what happened to Coco Village from Nigeria. And now let us try to read about the second village, Ponnimanturi village. This is from India, our country. What happened to this village? And I can let us start the first paragraph. I can remember the time, she said wistfully, when all the fields around this village were green and the harvest good. Her outstretched arm described a complete circle as she stood in the morning sun. Then they build. Who are they? They built those monsters. Monsters. Who are the monsters? Those. So she is calling. Wistfully means thoughtfully. Without lot of contemplation, lot of thought process, she is saying entire village was green earlier. They used to get lot of harvest, good output of the product, whatever they harvest, plant, they used to get good output. But later what happened? They started constructing those monsters. Who are the monsters here? The monsters are nothing but the factories. We say factories are the symbol for development, but according to this passage, factories are not symbol for development, factories are symbol for death. So they built those monsters. Those, her voice spluttered in anger as she shook her fist as a collection of ominous looking black buildings. Ominous looking black buildings. No, monsters are nothing but ominous looking black buildings. They are nothing but the factories. Factories, big factories. They build big factories in the middle of Ponnimanturi village, green village. When they build, what happened? On the horizon covered in a low-laying shroud of thick smoke. Now, when you say factory, they do some kind of work and smoke automatically comes out. The smoke is mixed in the air and automatically it leads to air pollution. They said that the factories need leather to make shoes, handbags, and clothes. What factories are they? They are leather factories. So leather factories. Why leather is used? Now we use leather, your school, to make your school bags, your shoes, your handbags, the clothes that we wear. Now leather used for many other purposes, and these are all the leather factories they built in the middle of Ponnimanturi Green Village in India. And when they are building, what they have said, they said our men folk would get jobs. They said we would all become rich. So when they started building these factories, they told, the factory owners told that the entire village people will get jobs. Not only jobs, all the village people will become rich. These are the two things they told. Then what happened? Really, have they become rich? Let us see. We stood silent, each thinking our own thoughts. Yes, they told you all that. But there is so much they didn't tell you. They didn't tell you that to change animal skin into leather, which they call tanning, uses as many as 250 different chemicals, including heavy metals such as cadmium, arsenic, and chromium. They didn't tell you that these chemicals are discharged into the environment from those chimney stacks and fall to earth on miles around, polluting the earth below. They didn't tell you that this would poison your fields so that nothing will grow. This would poison your fields so that nothing will grow. They only told two things, that you will get jobs and you will become rich. But they did not tell that these poisonous gases will come out, and 250 different chemicals are used to tan the animal skin or any kind of skin, leather. And when it is tanned, lot of smoke comes, and the smoke automatically goes up and comes down, and it should fall on the ground only. When it is fell on the ground, nothing grows there. All the fields become poisonous, and even not even the grass grow there. And that is the situation. They did not tell this fact. They only told that you would get jobs and you would become rich. Then what happened? They didn't tell us that the chemicals would be dumped in open fields and in our rivers side. Vijayasama. We had been thinking the same thoughts. They didn't tell us that our women would have to walk 10 kilometers every day. They didn't tell us that we would get ulcer and sores on our bodies. They didn't tell us her voice tailed off. There is so much they didn't tell you. I thought. The author is telling, I thought. So when she was Vijay Sema, when she started telling about the initial stages of building the factories, when they told that they would get the job and they become rich, they never told there are so many things that they did not tell us. When she started telling, her voice tailed up, her voice slowly become very low and stop talking. Sometimes we don't get voice when we are in real pain, anguish. So that is what happened to Vijay Sama. So when they started building these factories, leather factories in Ponnimanturu village, the owners of the factories told that the villagers, all the villagers will get jobs and all the villagers will become rich. Only those two things. And they never get the jobs. Nobody became the rich. But what happened? And whatever they did not tell, whatever they hide, that is what happened. What happened? The entire fields and the entire water in the rivers became poisonous. Entire thing is polluted. And due to that, what happened? The entire people, the village people started getting ulcer, sore, some kind of allergies, and finally most people even died also. That is what is happened. And we don't buy leather shoes or leather handbags or leather clothes, she said. And finally the entire village people decided that they should not buy leather articles, any leather item they should not buy, because they are the victims of the side effects of leather manufacturing. And we enjoy leather pure, we ask for pure leather most of the time in the shops, but when we see the reality of the victim's side, and we stop really buying the leather products. Now, this is about Ponnimanturu village. Now, what we can understand from these two villages, the life or the experience of these two villages, and what happened to these two villages. One, Coco village, it is in Nigeria. Mr. Sunday Nana shared his experience. And the second one is Ponnimanturu village, Vijay Sama's experience we have listened to, and what can we learn, and what happened to that those places, and why the people in those places are the victims, and what suffered them. The only one thing is pollution. The pollution is the prime cause for their suffering, for their pain, for their death. And most of the time when we go back, we used to live without any kind of pollution, especially the pollution that is from factories. But in recent trending, we most of the time talk about factories as a symbol of development, but we never talk about factories as a symbol of death, as Mr. Sunday Nana says. They are living with a death as their neighbors. So pollution spoils entire landscape. It will never allow to grow not even a grass, poisons soil, waterways, it poisons water also, rivers, kills plants. Plants are very, very important, that we know it, and it kills plants. And animals, already most of 95% of the animals are disappeared on this planet. Only 5% animals are left, and we are trying to kill them also. Sooner or later we are going to reach the target also, and then we would realize the importance of the animals. Humans are also harmed by pollution. Like we have seen in Ponnimanturu village, those people suffered from ulcer. Even small kids also, they suffered from sores or different kind of lungs diseases or kidney diseases. Many diseases they attacked Ponnimanturu village people. It's only because of that factors. And if you expose for a long time to any kind of pollution, you may have external problems or internal problems. You may have chronic respiratory diseases, lung cancer, or any other cancer, skin cancer kind of things. And those are all the side effects. And I'm focusing on a superficial level of pollution, side effects of pollution, but there are n number of side effects of pollution. And we have experienced in Coco Village, Nigeria, and Ponnimanturu village in India also. Not only these two villages, in the next class we are going to read about one more village, that is Voroboyo village, Ukraine, that is from formerly USSR, Russia. And what happened there in that village? Obviously you may guess that this is the same kind of situation might have happened. Of course you are right, but it's in a different manner. And how differently pollution attacked Voroboyo village, Ukraine country, and how the people of this particular village suffered from the attack of pollution. So who is causing this pollution, students? Of course, we. We means we, the human beings. We are the main cause of the entire pollution on this planet. Not the dog, not the cow, not a buffalo, not a sheep or goat. We are causing, but who have to stop? Of course, we have to stop. If you don't stop, ultimately the pollution will stop us and it will ultimately kill us. And I should appreciate all the governments who are taking anti-pollution rights, anti-pollution slogans, anti-pollution movements, and in the front line, and supporting. Most of the NGOs are supporting, and most of the people who are working for it, and most of the people making, building the countries, building the factories without pollution, and they are working for it. I should appreciate all those kind of scientists, people, countries. And I also advise you to work on this area of pollution, how to reduce pollution, how to produce the goods, articles without pollution, or environmental friendly articles. That is the real challenge that this world is going to face in the future. So now we have understood in two villages, Coco village and Ponnimanturu village, what happened and how the pollution really damaged their entire village. And in the next class, on the 5th, we are going to read about Voroboyo village. It's in Ukraine country. It's formerly, it was known as Russia. We are going to read about it. But your challenge from this class is that you have to think, or you have to work towards the invention or pollutionless or pollution free pollution free factories. That is the only challenge that the entire human race is facing. Thank you very much for listening to this class, and we will meet in the